Hey guys, Julian Lello here and welcome to my studio. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you would have seen on my stories that I recently took over a new space. It's a space that will predominantly be used for editing, but is also big enough and has enough beautiful natural light that I'll also be able to use it for small scale photo shoots. As you can see, when I took over the space, it was in desperate need of some fresh paint. So in keeping it as fresh as possible and giving it a nice base color for photo shoots, I painted 3 of the walls in a crisp white. For the 4th wall, which sits in front of my desk, I wanted to create some warmth, a cozier place for me to work, as well as a nice backdrop for shooting YouTube videos. I opted for a color called Black Forest, a dark grey blue color that not only provides the warm feel that I was after, but creates a really nice contrast with the greens of my plants. Now, although the studio as a whole is far from complete, the desk setup is about 80% there. So in this video, I'm going to focus on my desk space and start with the hero itself, the desk. I was fortunate enough to be sent the beautiful OmniDesk Ascent from their Wildwood collection. I opted for the Acacia Light tabletop in the extra large, which sits at 183 centimeters wide. And although I keep a pretty minimal desktop, this allows me to have my plants and a few other personal effects on the desk without feeling at all cluttered. Now, this is my first standing desk, and after just a couple of weeks of using it, I'm already not sure how I previously worked at my computer for hours at a time without one. The dual motors on this desk means that it can easily handle shifting all the weight that sits on my desk up and down, and does so with surprising speed. But what I really love about the sit stand function is that it's all programmable, either via the control panel attached to the desk or via the OmniDesk app. It's one touch to get me sitting or standing. There are also a bunch of other great programmable features, such as changing the color on the control panel and setting reminders to stand. Before I move on to what's on the desk, I want to touch on a few of the OmniDesk accessories that I selected in this dream desk setup. First up is the advanced cable management system. This sits under the desk and gives ample room to hide all those messy cables that can easily take over your workspace. The desk does come standard with some built-in cable management, but the extra space does make it easy to hide some bigger items like power boards. Now, tucked in behind the cable management system, I also went with the OmniDesk RGB light strip option. It's operated from a remote control. There are about 20 colors to choose from, which are all adjustable in terms of brightness and whether you want them set to solid light or flashing. In the spirit of a clean desk, I also added the OmniDesk headphone hanger and Arc Stealth monitor arm with laptop mount. Sitting in the mount is my workhorse, my 15-inch 2019 MacBook Pro. Now, I'm not the most techie person, but for those of you that are interested, it's got a 2.3 gigahertz, 8-core Intel Core i9 with 16 gigabytes of RAM. This is paired with a 27-inch Apple Thunderbolt display. Since I do now have my MacBook up off the desk, I have just invested in my first mechanical keyboard. On the recommendation of some friends, I went with the Keychron K2 V2 with RGB backlights and aluminium frame as optional. So far, it's been a great introduction to the world of mechanical keyboards at a very reasonable price point. Oh, and it's also got the brown keys, which are music to the ears. As for my mouse, I'm still running the Apple Wireless, but would love some suggestions down in the comments for something a little more ergonomic. As you can see, my desk is reasonably minimal, so I'll quickly run through some of the more subtle touches and personal effects. On the OmniDesk headphone hanger are the Bose Quiet Comfort 45 noise cancelling headphones in black. These are a staple both at my desk and whenever I travel. The desk mat is a wool blend mat that I purchased from Amazon. It was in a lower price bracket when it comes to desk mats, and it's starting to show signs of wear and tear. So I'm definitely in the market for a quality upgrade in the near future. With the OmniDesk Riser currently out of stock, I had to improvise in getting my Thunderbolt screen up off the desk and at eye level. So I found these bamboo drawers at Kmart and used some of the leftover Black Forest paint to help tie them into the setup a little more seamlessly. These are providing a great alternative and additional storage until the OmniDesk Riser comes back in stock or I find a longer term solution. When you're fortunate enough to have your own space, I think it's also really important to add some personality. Add a few things that are important to you and make you feel comfortable. For me, it's a photo of the kids, my plants, a few model cars, and my Olympus OM10 film camera. A camera that my mum bought back when I was born and took all our family photos on it growing up. So what's next for my space? Well, as I mentioned, the desk setup is about 80% complete. I'm looking to upgrade my mouse, my desk mat, and my riser, but also add a USB hub and some sort of large scale data storage. I don't really know too much about RAID or NAS systems, so if you do have any experience with them or any recommendations, please let me know down in the comments below. As for the other side of the room, the rest of the studio, once the desk is complete, I will turn my eye there and just add a few pieces of furniture and maybe a little bit more storage for all my camera kit. If you enjoyed this video, help me out with a like, a subscribe. If you have any questions about anything I mentioned or need any links to anything I mentioned in the video, please let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you for pressing play.